This is your Neepawa Town Council Debrief for the May 16th, 2023 meeting. The debrief will highlight the key issues being discussed by Council and provide some context for the conversations and information on what the decisions mean for the town. There is plenty of participation to look forward to this summer thanks to a recent grant from the federal government. Councillor Sisley reports on several free family fitness in the park sessions that will be taking place on Sundays starting on June 4th with Zumba. Keep an eye on the town's Facebook page for further details. Sisley also announces a new project called the Children's Business Fair, which will encourage youth aged 15 and under with their startup businesses. Town EDO Marilyn Crew will be working with the schools to promote this exciting new event, and details will be available in the future.
Okay, so I guess we start off with council reports. Who would like to go first? Councilor Sisley.
Today at lunch we had handyman meeting. Ridership was down this past month. There was only 304 rides, and they were assuming due to weather. It's been so nice that people are out and about and not needing the van as much. The next casino trip will be Monday, May 29th. And then they're looking at taking a month off and just to gauge interest for what trips will be like for the summer, for attendance for those trips. We were thrilled to find out that we have been selected as one of the recipients of Co-op's Feel Good Day on September 19th. So there's a certain percentage per liter of fuel purchased on that day that will be donated to the handyman. So you'll see myself and a few other board members at the barbecue cooking up lunch for everybody that comes along. So we are very excited about that. That was big for us. The participation grant. It's going to be Sunday sessions from 10 to 11 a.m. down at Riverbend Park. June 4th will be Zumba with Prince. June 11th will be Whitey's Fitness with Sherry White. June 18th will be Fun Fitness with Mavis Kobacki. June 25th will be Family Zumba with Solange LaBelle. July 2nd will be Yoga with Terry McCarty. And July 9th will be Box with Derek Pearson from Neepawa Martial Arts Club. These are free sessions, family sessions down at Riverbend Park. There's going to be giveaways for each session. And then there is going to be a couple of bigger giveaways at the end where there'll be some registrations where people can pick which instructor they want to take some classes from. Another thing on that Marilyn got in place, which I'm super excited about, is the Children's Business Fair. So Marilyn put in an application for this and was accepted. So she will be doing a children's business fair at Arts Forward on Thursday, August 10th. We're looking at probably starting a little bit earlier than our regular farmers market so the kids have a chance to get the feel of what it is like. It's an opportunity for children 15 and under to launch their very own startup business. Marilyn will be in speaking with the schools and getting more info out to the community so that the kids have a chance to develop a brand and create a product or a service for it. So it's pretty exciting about that. Last thing to mention is the Chamber Fair, May 26th, 27th, and 28th. Lots going on with the Chamber Fair. There's a townwide garage sale, there's midway, pony rides, pancake breakfast. Handyman will be doing a shuttle from the co-op parking lot on Saturday just to try and ease some of the congestion at the fairgrounds. And then they will also be doing a shuttle for the social that will be part of the fair as well. So.
Excellent. Lots of stuff going around the community.
Manager of Operations Denise Sakay reports that spring cleaning is nearly wrapped up and they are in the process of seeding a few areas to repair any snow clearing damage. Sakay wants to assure residents that the bridge at Park Lake that goes into the lake bed is a temporary construction bridge and will not be permanent. He thanks several volunteer organizations for stepping up to help clean up rubbish around the town this spring, and also reports that trees will be arriving this month and next, and spring planting will occur soon. While Sakay cannot guarantee the schedule of our paving company, it is expected that the tennis courts will be completed within the next couple of weeks.
I guess on to Manager of Operations, Denise.
Thank you, Mayor Henley. Well, as everyone can see, staff have been busy running around town. We've got our spring cleaning pretty much wrapped up now. Street sweeper has been busy running around town as well. We'll look at tidying up some second streets. So we've heard some concerns about Broad Avenue possibly needing another sweep, just due to all the heavy traffic going down to the lake restoration. So we'll look into that one. And we've trying to tidy up and get some of our other grounds growing that needed some overseeding or possible damage due to sidewalk and snow clearing. Park Lake, there's been some concern brought forward regarding the bridge that was placed in the lake bed. That's just to reassure residents that that's not a new road, that's just a construction bridge that's temporary. This has been used during the construction project. So all the concrete trucks will be going through there to help rebuild the dam to their structure. So that's just a temporary measure. Progress in the lagoon building is moving along nicely. I brought Coin's decision over there to tour as well during our last site meeting. Interior works are moving along nicely, and the NDVR tank got the slab poured, and they're commencing work on the wall structure. So it's all moving along nicely. As far as I know, the tendering for the additional trails at the back 40, Highlight back 40, should be out shortly. Our contractor, Skeleton and Murray, has completed the initial drawings, so those will be going out to approved trail builders. So hopefully we can see some tenders on those coming soon. On that, we've also had some volunteer organizations willing to clean up some of the rubbish around town, so we've been organizing those. Other than that, we're getting prepped up for trees that are supposed to start arriving with this month and into the next month for some spring plantings, so we're waiting on those. And I guess all you like to talk about this.
Charades with charades.
I've been working hard on this one too, so I feel like give Heidi some credit. But we've got our commercial pools contractors lined up. They'll be coming as soon as we can get the footings in place. The screw piles, the main structure is going in right now to support the slide, so we'll get that. And pool staff and water plant staff managed to get the pool cleaned and filled, and the boilers are up and running now, so everything's working good there. We have a series of contractors lined up to start working there, but hopefully by next meeting I could have a more firm deadline and date about when everything's being installed. So stay tuned. We'll have some Facebook posts to update residents if things happen fast.
Any other questions of Denise?
I think that's a test.
Tennis court?
You might be flying
So, the tennis courts. I didn't want to get hopes up and talk about it too much, but same thing. In the coming weeks, the Maple Leaf paving should be in town to commence the paving on that project, provided there's no weather delays or weird construction delays. Like I said, I don't want to jinx it, so that's what I want to talk about it, but it should be occurring in the next couple weeks.
Any other questions?
No other activities?
Good report to me, thanks. Lots of stuff going on.
CAO Colleen Sanchishan introduces a new abuse and molestation policy, which creates a zero tolerance policy when it comes to dealing with vulnerable populations, including children. This initiative comes from the Association of Manitoba Municipalities and is different from existing harassment policies. While municipalities are not required to put such a policy in place, there could be legal and insurance implications later on if one does not exist.
And abuse policy.
So just to give you a little background on the abuse and molestation policy that I'm asking you to approve is policy AB 125. So in January 2023, the AMM advised, which is the Association of Manitoba Municipalities, advised all municipalities in Manitoba of a requirement to adopt an abuse and molestation policy for protection against potential statements of claim, as well as aid in the creation of a zero-tolerance environment for abuse within communities. Any alleged instances of abuse of children, youth, or vulnerable populations while under the care, custody, and control of others must be reported to the proper authorities and documented properly. While municipalities already have harassment and respectful workplace policies in place as required under the Workplace Safety and Health Amendment Act, abuse and molestation actually falls separately outside of the standard legal definition for harassment. The approval of this policy is a priority for the insurance partners against under the Association of Manitoba Municipalities General Insurance Program to help protect against this growing concern. Failure to implement an abuse and molestation policy could potentially affect coverage in the event of a loss. Since January, many discussions have taken place between municipalities, the AMM, and our insurance provider to understand the criteria of the policy and establish a framework for how to action a report of abuse or molestation. So by passing the attached policy, which you've all read, and formalizing a process to deal with matters should they arise related to abuse and molestation, we are deemed as taking reasonable steps to protect against both past and future occurrences of abuse. However, should you choose not to pass the policy, any potential claims relating to liability for abuse may be denied insurance coverage. So recommendation of council that we proceed in supporting policy 8125 for abuse and molestation.
Okay, any questions? Councillor Gerard?
Yeah, and when I was reading through the policy, and it's exceptionally thorough. It covers bases extremely well. There was one point of concern on my behalf, and it was the psychological abuse is defined as, but not limited to, communication of an abusive nature, sarcasm, exploitative behavior, intimidation, or manipulation. And that sarcasm one is a hard one to define, and is it possible that we can look at it omitting that from policy? Just because sarcasm can be opinion, that would be one of my only concerns I've seen in the document. And then the only other friendly one, and I hate to bring it up because it's going to just make people laugh, is under the sexual assault, is one form of sexual violence that involves any unwanted sexual activity, physical touching the breast, genitals, or bum, and bum should be replaced with buttocks.
We could probably change that, but
Yes.
you know what, these definitions, even the one you just
Okay.
spoke about previously, we were given these from the
Okay.
insurance company.
Okay.
Has there been modifications made to this document because I thought it could be better than it was? Yes, there have been. I've been having a back and forth with the insurance company about how they were more formally speaking to a designated representative and a municipal representative, because as I read the template they gave us, it didn't make sense. So I evolved it such that I inserted the CAO as the one that they got reported to. I'd be the designated person, and municipal representatives can include almost anybody. I also changed some of the order and how the reporting happens and added confidentiality clauses to make sure that confidentiality is protected and whatnot in there, and I vetted those through the insurance company. So admittedly, would there be 137 municipalities that passed the template that was provided to them by the insurance company? Yes. But me and our neighboring municipality, who happens to be my brother, passed this version. or hoping to pass this version. So I think it's a little bit better. They did like it, but I know they weren't going to feel it out to others to amend theirs either. So I did my best, but I could not toy with the definitions.
Okay.
And I don't think, as far as I know, we will be needing this around here, but it's in place, it protects us. What we have started doing though is when we hire new employees, especially all the summer staff, who work with children and youths and all those types of things, we're asking them to do the screening right out of the gate. And they've all signed their forms and we're sending them, and we're compliant.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of it is just education.
Yeah.
Anyone else? So we're good to go. Be it resolved that we hereby approve abuse and molestation policy 80-125. Moved by Councillor Gerard, seconded by Councillor Pottinger. Any further questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
The town is also embarking on a couple more construction projects in the near future. The first is a pair of viewing towers along the Trans-Canada Trail, including at the bike park. These will be steel construction, and the cost is partially covered by a grant already received by the town. As well, the town has accepted a tender to construct the addition to the old RCMP building that will soon be used as an ACC training facility, pending clarification of some dates. There is a very tight turnaround time on this project, as ACC needs to install a lot of equipment after the construction is done, and the first LPN class is scheduled to begin in January.
Pauline, viewing towers?
So I'll speak to this, but I'll ask Denny if he has anything look at. So we've been toying with the idea of putting up lookout towers or viewing towers in the community as part of our features for whether it be recreation or tourism or otherwise. Initially, when we were talking about this, we were thinking wooden towers. It wouldn't cost very much. We could do quite a few for big bang for your money. As we actually understood and had to go for engineer design for these towers and looking at the heights, we ended up actually getting ourselves into the field of going to steel, so that these are permanent, they're not much destruction over a period of time, and that they were stable and safe and secure. So we actually designed them then as steel, understanding that the dollar value that they were going to come back was going to be significant and more than what we thought. A previous grant that we received approval for under Building Sustainable Communities was a $300,000 grant, $150,000 grant that we had to pay 50% of to get these towers. And at the time, I think we were thinking we could maybe get 4. With the change in design and the height and the steel, cost of supplies and whatnot, we went to tender actually on these construction of these, and we found that to the low bid to build one was $88,659. So because we have to match this grant to the tune of $150,000, this would basically buy us one. So to get the full value of the grant now, even though, and in our budget we have $75,000 to match the 75, we can do that. So to get the full $150,000 value, we're going to do 2 of them. So it would be $173,118, and it was tried upon this little bid. And so the difference to that 150 to the 173, in the Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program grant that we received $550,000 federal dollars towards that project, we did have $40,000 in that particular grant budget for 2 towers, which we know clearly, as I just said, you can't build anything for that. So we're recommending low bid Tridecon of 2 towers for $173,118. One will be at Rotary Park, one will be at the bike park. And just so you know, the bids ranged up to, for 2 towers, $405,000. So we're getting 2 towers for less than the high bid of 1.
This is for the construction and installation?
Correct.
Right.
So that's our recommendation, to accept Tridecon if you want to proceed for 2 towers totaling $173,118, including tax.
Okay. Any other questions? Councillor Nadeau?
Yes, thanks. Looking at the diagrams, it says it's 130 feet high.
Oh, that's not.
No, 100 is the base slab height, 30 feet high.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a big tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, these stairs are large.
People want to get up the stairs.
Okay. And I guess the second question, have we finalized where these 2 towers would go then?
Yeah, I'm 90% sure where on each location exactly goes. So.
I know it's along the Great Canadian Trail.
Yeah, we're gonna do one obviously within the bike park, in the back 40. Second one probably we'll probably finalize it on site. It depends on the full scale and size of the tower that comes in. I don't know how far in we'll be able to reach it, especially with the heavy machinery. I don't want to take down too many trees at Rotary Park. So I'm kind of envisioning in the middle landing zone, probably south of the birds right there. That way you'll be able to overlook and see everything. That or on the west turn point there. So either way, it's gonna kind of mean that you'll be able to see really good.
We need you to be able to see the hospital thing going on.
Yeah.
See the lake that's going back.
Yeah, we're all looking forward to the lake. Okay, any other questions?
Is there a timeline on it?
I need a deadline November 1st. It's in there, I think they also stipulated when they're starting, so it should move along fairly quick.
And we have checked with insurance, just in case anybody's wondering. So.
Soon.
Okay, so resolution 107, be it resolved that we accept the tender of Tridecon for the construction of 2 viewing towers at a cost of $173,118, including applicable tax. Moved by Councillor Nadeau, seconded by Councillor Kostenchuk. Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Training facility following.
So this was exciting. That 239 mill, you all know we have an old RCMP building, and you all know that Neepawa was announced for a nurses training program to start in January. So we had to get clipping along pretty quick here with our ability to add a piece of building to the south side of that building, and then of course renovate the whole building. Tenders went out on that building and actually closed yesterday, so this came to your plate fairly quickly because our time frame is exceedingly short, and we cannot wait till the next meeting to get this done. So we did actually receive 3 quotations for the construction of that building. And the recommendation from Arcad Architecture, who's actually working on behalf on this, is that we award this new Neepawa training facility addition and renovation to cutting edge construction, provided that we can obtain clarity from them on their estimated weeks to complete. So right now, they propose that it be done by November 3rd. The schedule within the bid document said November 15th, so that gives them a little bit of leeway. We need to be in and out of there so that Assiniboine Community College can deck the building out with the equipment they require to run the program. So low bid, cutting edge construction, it is a little bit more than we had anticipated at the front end of this. We all know that changing the building from its current use over there, more of an office style setting building under the Building Code of Canada, it alters when you're going to an educational training component of buildings over there. And of course the supply chain is crazy. The low bid was $760,906, which is our recommendation to council. High bid, $995,000. We did, after we received the bid and the initial shock set in, we did reach out to do a comparison of what the fair value would be from those who did not bid, and they deemed their information they had came in very similar to what they thought was going to be the value of the construction, and we really need to get this going, so I'm asking for your approval to accept that bid tonight.
Okay, any questions? Straightforward. Be it resolved that we approve the bid of cutting-edge construction in the amount of $760,906, including PSD for the addition and renovation of the old RCMP building located at 239 Mill Street into a training facility, provided that they can confirm completion within the time frames set out in the bid document. Moved by Deputy Mayor Parrott, seconded by Councillor Sisley. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Also covered were handy van ridership and the 3rd reading of the fire protection agreement with Rosedale. You can view end-to-end coverage of the Town Council meeting elsewhere in the NATV schedule, including immediately following this. If you have comments, questions, or topics that we might be able to shine some light on for you, please do reach out. The number is 204-476-2639. You can reach us by email at nactvnews@gmail.com or on Facebook at Neepawa TV. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you next time.